Okay, today is the 14th day of January 2025. And today I got a lot of good stuff to talk about. First thing we talking about is how Marvel Rivals said they're gonna give us a lot of content to look forward to. And I'm happy about that. I'm happy for that. I'm ecstatic. I'm elated for that. Yes. More stuff to hawk to on Overwatch's grave. Cause that grave, Overwatch is in it right now. The lid to the box is still open. It's still going through the funeral proceedings. And you know the Overwatch fans, they dragging it out. They trying to make it last as long as they can. They're like, oh no. Overwatch. They're doing everything they can. Like how people be saying the CIA got like accounts on Twitter and stuff like that. That's Overwatch every week when they come and add a new dumbass controversy. Like I think that was secretly Overwatch players who was making up them rumors saying that Mr. Fantastic is Luffy coded because when he goes in a fat mode, that's like inspired by Gear 6 or Gear 5, whatever is the new Luffy transformation that they got. So like it was that one. The whole joint with the mods where people was adding political mods, that little controversy. I think that was secretly Overwatch players. The controversy where they had where people was saying that Overwatch Overwatch 2 or Overwatch 2016 is better than Marvel Rivals, where people was arguing down on that's some CIA Overwatch. Instead of CIA Overwatch. Them CIA Overwatch agents, they was coming through here, they was starting arguments, causing controversy, trying to no subtract, no division, no multiplication. They actually got opposite of multiplication. They was trying to divide us apart. But we still here. We still living. We still fight. Marvel Rivals community is still going strong and breaking record after record. And after talking about all the records that the community has broken, the developer, Mr. Chen, Guangguan Chen had discussed how Frequency NetEase is planning to add fresh characters to the game in an interview coinciding with the launch of Season 1, which happened last week at the time of this recording/writing. Eternal Nights is a vampire-themed season, which I find it weird that on a vampire-themed season is not a season they did Blade, because allegedly, I have to say this, allegedly, there's like data miners have found stuff inside the game for Blade already, so we know that there's a strong chance that Blade is supposed to be coming to the game and that his model is already made, as far as like data miners allegedly have dug up. So if y'all gonna add Blade into the game, y'all already went as far as modeling him and leaving his model in the files for the game. Why did you do the Fantastic Four in the vampire season and not do the Fantastic Four on the Doctor Doom season? Because I feel like Doctor Doom is mostly a Fantastic Four villain, because like the whole past with Reed Richards and Doctor Doom, but I don't know, maybe I'm bugging. Anyway, it's a bummer. It is a bummer to see them come on the season after Doom, but it's a bumper season which includes Invisible Wallman and Mr. Fantastique in its first half, followed by the Inhumane Torch and the Thing in the second half. Season Uno also features 3 new maps, special events, and a new Doom match game mode, which for those of you who haven't played the new Doom match game mode, it's literally just TDM. It's not nothing crazy special. It's literally just TDM. Not saying it's bad though, but it is what it is. First to 15 TDM. The direct quote though: every season we'll be rolling out fresh seasonal stories, new maps, and new heroes. Mr. Guangguan told Metro will actually be breaking down each season into 2 halves. The length of season 1 is 3 months, and each a half, blah blah blah. That's the part we know. We just eventually want to continue to enhance the experience and keep everyone excited in our community. Guang Guang also discussed how NetEase is picking new heroes for the game. Ooh, this could be interesting. Hold on. Our choice of heroes will be guided by the overall gameplay experience or theme that we want to create for each season. So I wonder, is he saying our heroes will be guided by the gameplay experience or okay, so basically from what I'm getting from this is they're saying, and shout out to all my Marvel vs. Capcom fans that's gonna understand the origin of this statement, they're not necessarily picking characters based off of what characters would be cool to be in the game. They're picking characters based off of functions. They're like, basically, to use the example I'm talking about, if they need a character who could dash in every direction freely, they're going to go, okay, what Marvel character would it make sense to give that ability to if we put them in the game? Or to use an example that's already in the game, let's say in a beta, just for example, let's say in season -1, that's what we'll call the beta. Let's say in season -1, there was a problem where so many of the tanks in the game were really strong, and it was to the point to where the tanks were just ruining everything and just ransacking games, right? So what they did is they create a character specifically designed to take down tanks. They said, okay, tanks are powerful, we need a character to take down tanks. What Marvel character would it make sense to have as a character designed to take down tanks? Wolverine is a character that likes to fight big people, like big characters and stuff like that. Okay, then we could give him a healing factor that makes it so that he could go back, but we should give him a mechanic that makes it so that when he fights smaller heroes, when he fights them squishies with them small health bars, it's not effective. Because if we just make it so that he has a lot of damage, so that whenever he runs up on a tank, he just crash out and beats up tanks and jumps in the middle of groups and wins 1v6s constantly, that's not going to be a very well balanced character. So they gave him that multiplier thing to where if you play as Wolverine and you try and fight a squishy, it takes longer than if you try to fight the big guy and take them out. So that's the way that that's the way that it sounds like they're thinking of their characters. They're going, okay, if this is the type of meta we have, what uncounterable thing do we have in the game that we could create a character to counter? I like that. That's a W mindset. Because I feel like a lot of games, when they pick stuff to add to the game, they're purely picking based on like money. And like, yes, I know good gameplay experience affects money, blah blah blah, but I feel like they too purely pick on money, and like they don't pick based on gameplay experience. Like, yeah, skins and stuff are cool, but stuff that actually affects and changes gameplay in a meaningful way is equally just as cool. So I'm glad that they have the gameplay experience in mind as well, because I feel like a lot of these bigwigs and stuff like that, and a lot of these developers forget that your video game has to be fun first and foremost. Like, free to play games are cool and all, don't ever get me wrong, I will never shit on like free to play games existing. What I will shit on is a free to play game that exists as a free to play game because they want to trick you into gambling, or they want to trick you into engaging in buying a bunch of stuff using dark patterns. That's what I'll make fun of. But to me, free to play games are very consumer friendly as long as they're done well. My motto, my thing about free to play games and people who design free to play games is I don't hate free to play games at all. What I hate is when developers make a free to play game and then like multiverses, they make a free to play game, but then they try and nickel and dime you for every damn thing in the game. Don't make a free to play game and put it out there if you're not ready for a majority of the people to play the game to play it for free and not buy stuff. You cannot risk taking that level of a hit to any business. So if you offer something for free, yes, you should offer it for free in a way that gets you more money back on the back end than how much you lose giving it away for free on the front end. Yes, business 101, business sense, simple, that makes sense. But what doesn't make sense is when you try and nickel and dime people. It's okay to give people options to buy things, but don't give them options to buy things that makes the experience less fun for anyone else. Because when you see somebody has a cool skin you also get joy. And even if you don't own that skin, seeing how cool that skin is, and if you have a couple dollars and you really think it's that cool, you could go ahead and buy it. But this whole we're gonna nickel and dime you thing, I don't fuck with it. So paying attention to the player experience and picking characters based off the player experience, and who's the most popular character we can put in the game to get people to come to the game. Fuck with that. Clap it up from Guangguang. Clap it up for NetEase. They made a non-shitty modal microtransaction filled game. So it'll revolve around the season, and right now at post-launch, we only have a measly 8 Vanguards, and 7 Strategists at launch. The team believes that it gives the players a solid variety for tactical matchups or team composition. Having more duelists at the moment will definitely enhance the duelist experience, letting players dive a little bit deeper into that aspect. So lastly, that's not a I think that's a soft confirmation, because him mentioning that there are way more duelists in the game, and like it is way more fun right now if you're a duelist main than if you're a healer main to play the game, because there are so many duelists for you to try versus healers. There's like a solid 8 for you to play as. I think that's a soft confirmation that they're working on more healers and vanguards. Now, don't open up the Bible and write that quote on the last page and take it as law or nothing like that. But I think that's just my guess. I think that's a soft confirmation to the idea that more strategists and more vanguards are coming to the game. Like, besides obviously Johnny Storm and the Thing, I hope the next couple seasons we don't get no DPS. After Johnny Storm, I don't want to see no new DPS. I'm so dead ass. I don't want to see no new DPS. I want to see, for the next 2-3 seasons, after Johnny Storm come out, for the next year after Johnny Storm come out, I want to see nothing but vanguards and strategy. We have enough DPS. We'll be fine. There are enough ways to give damage to the opposite team, okay? We would definitely keep this in mind when introducing new heroes, and we would want to make sure, I think they messed up that quote, but they would want to make sure that everyone feels heard and excited. Yeah. The launch of season 1 saw it attract over 600,000 concurrent players on Steam on January, blah blah blah. So yeah, so the game is rising because not only does it have the Marvel IP, but the gameplay is also good. And like, one thing I feel like is very, very underrated and disrespected about this game is, yes, this game does have the Marvel IP attached to it. So yes, it's initially going to get a bump in popularity at the beginning because of the Marvel IP. But I want to pull out a game that I watched in very, very early development. I saw, and this is the right instrumental. A game that in very early development I saw. A game that in very early development I kept track of, and it's wild that the disc I seen in here was in here. Because if y'all don't recognize this case, wait, let me cover it up. The first disc I see when I see in here, because I never actually got the case for this, so it just be floating around loose, is this. And you know what game this is a case for? Even though I claimed the code already, I just won't be this much of a hater. Y'all not claiming my damn code. Oh shit, I didn't claim the Marvel Unlimited code. Cover that up. Avengers. Now, Avengers, from start to finish, had potential to be a great game. Avengers, from start to finish, had the potential to be a great game, but when it came out, everybody was locked in because they thought, oh man, it's gonna be so cool to be able to play as my favorite Avengers. I get to play as Tony Stark. I get to play as Bruce Banner, the Hulk. I get to play as freaking Spitter Homie. I get to play as Natasha Romanoff, and I get to look at her big butt while I beat up bad guys. That wasn't the case. While Natasha was a surprisingly fun character to play, why wasn't the case. The game came out. Not only did it not work, it was ass, and it was forced to be a live service game when it should have just been a co-op action beat 'em up game that you and your friends could play and level up your characters in with some light RPG mechanics. Shit sucked. Anyway, moving on. It's another piece of Marvel Rival news that I wanted to talk about, and in particular, how the ultimate for Jeff, the adorable land shark, isn't being nerfed anytime soon, but the director has an interesting tip for avoiding it. And I'm not even going to talk further, because I've talked about Jeff's ultimate in the past, and if y'all haven't been paying attention, y'all know how I feel about it. But let's read what the head developer, Guang, had to say about Jeff the adorable land shark, even though his ultimate, as of the time of this writing, has been nerfed from what it originally was. So far, NetEase, blah blah blah. If you haven't played, asked by Metro if there are any plans for a Jeff the adorable land shark ultimate nerf, the game director Guang dodged the question and instead offered up some advice. We actively have an interesting tip for how to avoid Jeff's ultimate. Guang said, make sure you keep your formation spread out as soon as you hear Jeff say, yummy, yummy, nom, 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 before he unleashes the ultimate. You want to scatter away, and don't hesitate to use your mobility skills if you need to. And if you have a teammate or two who unfortunately get swallowed by Jeff, and you've also done a good job spreading out your whole team beforehand, it means that only a few teammates will get caught. So in that case, there's still a chance to take him down and rescue your buddy before he drags them to the end of the map. It's all about, right there, in case you don't recognize what him saying drag you to the end of the map, sounds like they're very aware about the SD kill, and despite the fact that not only did they do nothing to fix it, they're very aware and intentionally left that in. So if it was a mistake, a glitch, an exploit before, it is now a mechanic. If the developers are aware of it, have a chance to fix it, release hot fixes and updates, and don't, it is a mechanic. You've also done a good job spreading out beforehand. So in that case, there's still a chance to take him down and rescue your buddy before he drags them to the end of the map. It's also all about teamwork and timing. Hitting those specific timings will really help turn the tide. Basically, just keep your distance from Jeff the Shark's gaping maw and you should be good. Thanks, boss. Now, I love that I've seen this statement right here. No. You gotta run that instrumental back. I love that I've seen this statement right now. Because you know what this statement says to me? This statement says to me, he gave you a detailed explanation and how to counter something that you have a hard time countering. And really what you wanted to happen was him to say, okay, we're going to nerf it and damn near take the ult out the game how bad we're going to nerf it. That's what you really wanted to say. But what he really said was, hey, if you're getting cooked by this shit, your fault for being ass, G. That's what he really said. Because he gave you all the same stuff that I've been saying before. Use your movement abilities. You and all your friends shouldn't be like this. You and all your friends shouldn't be this close to each other, packed up, shoulder to shoulder, standing by my side, like a fucking Kiki Chia song. Standing next to each other like this, shouldered up, looking back and forth, barely got enough room to turn your head, standing on point. Spread out. There's a mechanic, for those of y'all who don't know, there's a mechanic in the game where, you know how when people stand next to the point, it starts to move faster? Like the point moves faster the more teammates are standing next to it. It caps out at 4. So after 4 teammates are standing next to the point, the other 2 teammates can do whatever they need to do. Maybe they could go set up a flank. Let's say they're playing a Wolverine and they're sitting on the side, waiting in a doorway, looking around a corner, waiting for one of the tanks to walk through the middle so they can out of nowhere and attack them. Maybe one of them need to go to the side, or maybe they straggled off and they need to go get a health pack real quick for whatever reason, it caps out at 4. So if 4 people are standing next to the point, 2 people shouldn't need to stand next to the point. Honestly, if 3 people are standing next to the point, 3 should be straggling around doing whatever they need to do. Whether it's let's say a Payne Parker going a little bit ahead of the point and setting up her traps around the corner so that when the enemies come to engage in combat, they're already halfway weak because they're getting hit by mines, and then they're being gunned down by everybody in the team. You know, there's certain different things that people on the team could be doing besides walking next to the point. Okay, not everybody has to stand on point. Now, you could please try and get as close to that 4 on point as you can. Don't overextend, but at the same time, stop standing next to each other. Jeff's ultimate isn't that crazy. Like, yes, it's annoying to get caught by it every once in a while. Stop standing shoulder to shoulder, bruh. And he even said, use a movement ability. He said, get better formations. Some of y'all not paying attention to your formation, not thinking about how and where everybody is whenever y'all are in or approaching a battle. Y'all want to overextend and play team deathmatch every freaking game. This is a game with convergence. They have a convoy mode, a domination mode, and a convergence mode, where basically you have to unlock the point and get the cart to go to the first and second gate. Instead of doing 3 gates, you get it to go to a first gate and a second gate. It's not team deathmatch. Stop trying to play team deathmatch. So yeah, I just really wanted to bring that up.